What's good, y'all? My name is Rorvis Paradox, aka Docs Brando, and I'd like to welcome y'all to another episode of Rorvis Reviews. I am excited to talk about one of my favorite releases of the year, which is Ryan Coogler's Sinners. I'm just so happy to talk about it. Let's not waste any time. If you're not already, subscribe to the Patreon. If you want to be a real doxaholic, all it is $5 a month. Make sure you're following the IG at DocsBrando25 to stay up to date. With all that being said, let's get into it. Now, 2025 Sinner by Ryan Coogler may be his magnum opus. This may be his best film to date. This film is something I've been waiting on for about a year and a half when I hear about the rumblings about him making a vampire film, since Marvel didn't want him to do Blade for some reason, and since I can never get Blade, and that was announced back in 2019, this was something I was looking forward to, a black creator doing black vampires, well, just vampires in general, anything to get that kind of that itch, that scratch that's been bothering me, something that I've been craving in a sense. And that's what was delivered here last week, honestly. And I've already seen it twice, and I still think it's a phenomenal, stellar film off of both watches. The film is about the Smokestack twins. They Smoke and Stack, as they come back to their hometown in Clarksville, Mississippi. And this is 1932, so you know it's racist as fuck, and they're trying to just create their own place, a juke joint for black people can just have a good time vibe and make some decent money. That's when vampires get involved, and that's all I really want to say about the film, because this episode is not for spoilers. I will be creating a particular new video. I'm thinking of it as a new series where I will be talking about spoilers, but that's not for here. This is strictly to just talk about how phenomenal this film is and my review. So number one, I just want to immediately get to the highlights. I want to talk about the direction. Ryan's direction for this film, it never falters. Everything seems fluid to me. Everything feels very focused. Like, he was on one for this movie. I think what makes Ryan Coogler so great is how much he pays attention to detail, how much research he does, because he could have phoned in a lot of things. And this goes all the way back to the first Black Panther film, where he did the research for the different African tribes to figure out a way to blend them together and implement them and pay homage to them without them being like, very stereotypical to what most Americans are accustomed to. And that was definitely shown within this film, with how much homage he's playing towards the blues, how much he's paying homage to African culture, and even Irish culture as well. I think he just researched phenomenally for this film, and it makes it that much the difference for how this film pans out. I think that some of the great things with that research is the that goes into the costume design. I think everyone is dressed to the nine for the most part, or what at that time would be dressed to the nine. And what I mean by that is when you see the Smokestack twins and you see that they got bread on them, they look clean as a motherfucker. They easily the cleanest characters in the film dress wise, right? Then you have the character of Sammy, who is their cousin, and for him, his cleanest, he got this little bit of a patched up suit and whatnot, but for somebody that's basically dirt poor, that was the cleanest he can get. And I respect how much attention to detail to that fit. It really shows where he's coming for, what his aspiration is with wanting to get out as a musician. This also goes into the set design. I think set design as well as the vehicles, I think they did a great job. Ryan did a great job of making sure everything looked like it was of that time period, and it was just magnificent to watch. It really felt like traveling back in time in a sense. I think that to further on, I think the writing of this film is spectacular. Even the humor bits to break down the tension that we just went through phenomenal. I love every single bit of it. This film did a great job with its sound design. Like when the moments of silence that build such anxiety and dread, and you're waiting for the other shoe to drop, for something to happen, it brought it up correctly. I think moments like just like the sounds of the creaks of the floorboards with just people just walking, or the people just dancing, and you just hear the stomps, everything sounded so clean and crisp. It was just he was just on one. He was just on one as a creator. I think the cinematography was some of his best. I think shout out to his mentor Christopher Nolan, the great one, for passing down some sauce, because a lot what I enjoyed about the film, and like I enjoyed this film wholeheartedly, entirely, right? But the landscape shots, like just wide pan, just seeing like the whole countryside, seeing all the cotton field, everything just felt momentous, and it's just like almost like shed tears of how beautiful it was. Like a lot of these scenes could be paintings, like they could be just pictures on like somebody's wall, and then like there's a lot of shots here that could be inspirational to artists to want to draw things, to pay homage, pay tribute to this film and that time period. I think it's just excellent all around. Also, this film has is it one of my favorites? It's one of my favorites now. Yeah, one of my favorite and one of the best one take shots I've seen in my life. Honestly, like it's just magnificent, and the impact that scene has on the film and people has been the talk of the world. So I'm not going to say it. Go watch the film. You're going to know what I'm talking about after. I promise you. Truly magnificent. I loved every single second of it. The next thing I want to talk about is how tremendous, special, unique, just wonderful, just how great the score and soundtrack is. So I want to give a shout out, praise to that boy Ludwig Göransson. Ludwig, I'm pouring honey on you, GOAT. Oh my god, the whole score 10 out of 10. There's no bad songs that playing through certain moments of this film that did not deter moments, feel wasted, feel like it was taking up space. Everything had a place with these songs. Like the opening track with the Firekeepers and Griots, the Smokestack Twins theme song, Delta Slim song, Why Are You Here, Before the Sun Went Down, Hold Up Till Sunrise, Elijah, I've Seen Enough of This Place, and Free for a Day. All of these were my favorites. Like, and again, you could just play this on and you're just like, bro, this feels, it just sparks something. It just truly sparks something. And there's certain songs on here like Hold Up Till Sunrise, or that just like full of dread and just evil, just pure evil, diabolical type of music, and it just gives you the shivers, the creeps, whatever you want to say. Ludwig just did an excellent job with that. And also I wanted to give praise to his wife as well, who had help with the production. So this wasn't just him, this was a family affair of sorts. So they definitely went down, dug in a bag, found inspirations deep in the South to get that true blues feeling, and did a great job of paying respect and homage to that music genre that means so much to a lot of people. And a lot of people don't understand where blues started and how a lot of different music genres that are thriving now are influenced from, are impacted to. There's a little bit of a tree that goes along the lines that you could do your own research on. But that was just the score. The original songs for this soundtrack were just, oh my god. I'm not even gonna try to rank them. I'm just gonna like try to list them off. So first off, I Lied to You, which is probably one of the biggest scenes in the film, and that boy Miles was just singing. He was just singing his ass off, as well as just playing the fuck out that guitar. Chef's kiss, chef's kiss. Oh my god. Him early in the scene, the traveling song. Then you have the Rocky Road to Dublin. Another impactful scene and an impactful song that's just, the scene is just gonna be keep replaying in my head. Jamie Lawson's performance of Pale Pale Moon, my goodness. And then with the acoustics from the people stomping, just whew, my lord. And then the song Last Time, just a mixed feelings of just tragedy, sadness, longing. These songs, these were my favorite. I messed with almost every song off the soundtrack for the most part, but these right here were the most impactful to me. Each one has a particular scene that is just attached to a moment of feeling that I just can't help but love. I want to get into the vampire design. But before I get to the vampire design, let's talk. Well, I can't get into the vampire design. The practical effects for the vampires as well as some of the kills in this film, love them. Absolutely love them. I think Ryan didn't. He could have went the more special, the special effects. Makes the image fake blood. Like, nah, the fake blood they use here, good, gushing, gooey, looks disgusting. I got a lot of sense of the Hammer style films, with just how the blood was just gushing, how red it was. The wounds were just disgusting. Now I get into the vampire designs. I really do love these vampire designs, but that goes into, even though I much more prefer werewolves over vampires, I can't help but tip my hat to how versatile vampires are in different genres, the different allegories they can be used for, as well as the design and the physiology of these creatures. And what I loved about these vampires are, number one, the eye colors are very distinct, and that's something that I will get on to another video, because I have a theory about that, but I want not for that. But the eye colors are just potent, powerful, and just both alluring, but also you feel danger just looking into their eyes and how colorful, abnormally colorful they are. I think the fangs are very interesting as well, because it's not just like the one set right here. When they're kind of just like not trying to be terrifying, and they're creatures of the night, it's just like two sharp fangs on each side. That's how they get down with these vampire types, as well as once they get like their instincts kick in, they can't help but just drool, like slobber, like you look like the best, your last meal. That's what you look like to them, just like, and they can't help it. It's off of instinct. They cannot control that. They literally have to wipe it away at times. And also what I thought was really cool is when they get more beastly as vampires, their fangs change and they get all sharp. So I get very much so Fright Night vibes off of them, and they're just ravenous creatures, and I just love them. As well as there's some more aspects of them that I want y'all to experience for yourselves, so I'm not gonna get into too much details of how they look and move, but I'm telling you, these are some pretty cool vampires. So probably one of my favorite vampire movies, right next to Nosferatu in a sense, but Nosferatu is such a different thing in comparison to a lot of vampire films, but that's neither here nor there. Excellent vampire design, excellent use of vampires, the allegories of what they mean and how they impacted the culture. The themes of this film are truly unique, and I don't want to get into detail here. I want y'all to experience it for yourself, because this film is very much so like an iceberg. This film, the top part is just 1930s black folks versus vampires, right? There's so much depth to it. There's layers to it that are just probably some of my favorite uses in film in a long time. This is just truly magnificent film. But I said all that, and I've still yet to talk about how great the performances from these actors and actresses were. So let me talk about the cast for a second. And I must snap my fingers, applaud, bow, tip my hat to Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan's already been known as a pretty good to great actor to most people, but this right here is his best performance. His best performance as an actor is right here. Oh my goodness. The way he portrays Elijah Smokemore and Elias Stackmore, it's like he really is two different people. It's not like they're kind of the same. No, like elements of them when they're together, just like with real identical twins, it's hard to tell them apart, right? Besides how they're color coded. But once they're separate, truly separated, they're more defined as characters. Smoke is this cool, calculating character, but he's low-key, he's kind of a crash out in a sense, because he will snap, but he's already thought about it in a sense. So don't fuck with him and nothing's gonna happen to you. Stack is more laid back, kind of more vibey, you know, he's the one you want to be around, be social, things like that. And just the energy he was giving off with these characters, just like even just with demeanor, facial expressions, he did not phone this in, and he could have phoned this in, and that would deter from this film so much so I'm so happy that Michael B. Jordan took it to another level for this film, because just doing this is hard. And I went through and watched some videos about how they was able to do it, because there's tricks to the twin aspect from the same actor playing these dual roles, and it's difficult. And it's not just difficult for him, it's difficult for his co-stars as well, because not only are they having to work with him, they're having to like run back when he's not there, trying to go through the lines and whatnot. It's a whole bunch for these for the cast and director, but they was able to perfect it to a T, and I'm so proud of it. Excellent performance from him. Wunmi Masaku as Annie acted her ass off. I love how much she pay homage to the hoodoo and truly looked like she had a good understanding of it, a good true passion for it, and a respect for it. All that in this character's role, and then just like a stern woman that really is, you know, exactly the type of person that Smoke needs when he's acting brash and he's just out being dangerous. It's her and her methods, her beliefs that's been keeping them protected, and I love that so much. Haley Steinfeld as Mary, my goodness, perfect woman for Stack. The way they bounce off each other, the chemistry was magnificent for them. Even how Mary interacted with the different characters, because Mary's character, you know, she's the white girl, but she's been around everybody growing up their whole lives, so it's not like she's a stranger to them. Everybody know Mary, everybody rock with Mary, everybody miss her mom, rest in peace. So to see her interactions with Sammy, with Cornbread, all of them is interesting, and then just puts in perspective how we are as a people, but also like how crazy it is at that time period. So Haley Steinfeld really understood the assignment and took care of business with this role. Now, somebody that another person I must tip my hat to. Good sir, Miles Canton as Sammy, Preacher Boy Moore. This is his acting debut. People, look me in my eyes. This is his acting debut, and he knocked it out the fucking park. I did not tell that this was his first performance. He performed like a vet. Like he performed like a child star. This was his time to show people that he wasn't just for the kids. He's a grown man. Nah, legit actor. First role at 19. Perfection. And not only is he acting, he's singing, and he's playing guitar. And he's barely learned the guitar for about maybe like 5 months, give or take. So for him to contribute all of his talents and take a step into a world that he's never been in, shout out to Miles. In his, like, you didn't even know, man, right next to Michael B. Jordan, this is one of the best performances from the film. This was just, Miles just killed it. I was just so proud and so happy to see him shine like that. Um, Next person, Jack O'Connell as Remick, our villain. There's so much greatness to his performance as a villain, as an antagonist, and he's charismatic, he's alluring, he's dangerous, he's villainous. But there's some things where you understand where he's coming from, and then there's moments where he's genuinely funny. Just genuinely funny. You just start laughing. Like, this dude's a goofball at times, but then you realize, oh yeah, no, he can kill everybody. Very dangerous. And just like his Jack O'Connor's performance left me wanting to know more about Remick. I want to know his backstory. I want to know how old he is. I want to know what led to him being a vampire. Like, that was, all of it was so interesting in my opinion. Jamie Lawson's as Pearline, just the chemistry she had with Sammy, just the back and forth, the push and pull, the intimacy, everything about that was phenomenal. Omar Benson Miller as Cornbread, funny ass nigga in this role, not gonna lie to you, that's as good as it get. There was just some pure comedy coming from his chemistry with everyone. So that goes with Michael B. Jordan as Stack, that goes into the comedy he had with Delta Slim, Mary, everybody. He was just a good person to bounce off of to get this type of performance and get the laughter out, good humor out, because for horror films you need a little bit of things to ease attention, because just pure tension, it drains people, and then it lowers the rate to deal with fear, because everything keeps happening. So after a while, it just it becomes ineffective. So those moments with Cornbread to lower our guard in a sense made this film special. One of the most talked about actors in this film right now is Delroy Lindo as Delta Slim. He was everything in this film. Just like with Omar's role as Cornbread, Delta Slim can be one of the funniest niggas in the room. He can be the drunkest nigga in the room. He could be the most vulnerable nigga in the room. And he could be the wisest man in the room. And there's a scene where he's having a conversation with Sammy about the importance of what they do and how it connects to their culture all the way line back to Africa. That's just so powerful. And there's a moment in the car ride between Sammy Stack and Delta Slim where it's just like, it really just puts in perspective how fucked up things were. Not put in perspective, it highlights even more how fucked up racism is, especially in the 1930s were in the South. And it just brings a tear to your eye just hearing him retell what happened to his friend. And it's just, Delroy is I want to see him lead next in something. He deserves it. Lin Jun Lee as Grace Chow and Yao as Bo Chow. Loved them as a couple. Their interactions were great. Grace's interaction with their interactions and their chemistry with everyone from the actors and actresses that I listed blended well and worked well with everyone. Everyone had a moment within this film that didn't feel phone home. It felt special. It felt unique. And either it was comedic, it was horrific, it was tragic. Some type of feeling was given when 1, 2, or 3, 4, or 5, all of them together, no matter the combination, they all did their job in this film. And it was just magnificent to watch. Overall, I'm giving this film 5 stars. This film is 5-star worthy. This is one of my favorite films of the year. Movie of the year contender in my opinion. And even though it's early, it's April, we still have a lot of films that are about to come out. I feel pretty highly of this, like I felt highly of Doom Part 2. This is just special. I've already seen it twice. Once in IMAX, once at Dolby. And I don't plan on seeing it standard, but if I do, I do. If not, I'm just gonna watch it again in one of the previous ones I've seen it. I can't wait to own this on DVD. I can't wait to have it available on streaming, because I will be watching this film again. This is going to be one of those ones for me. I can already tell it's going to be one of my favorite movies of all time. But with all that being said, have you watched this film yet? And if not, why the fuck haven't you watched this film? Are you crazy? Lock in, people, lock in. I don't want to hear things about movie ticket prices. There's reduced days for y'all to go to. Matter of fact, I think I spent about $15 or $16. Y'all okay, y'all can spend that. Go pay for cinema. Experience this in IMAX in particular, because it was already filmed on IMAX film. You need to partake in this as best as possible, as the way the director intended. So go to the movie theaters and go watch this film. And if you have watched this film and you want to hear more, you want to have a dialogue, if you want to have a chance to talk about spoilers or hear some ideas coming from spoilers, don't you worry. I will be dropping a video on this to continue, and it'll be full of spoilers, because spoilers have nuggets of theories and pieces of conversation that I have been just dying to get out of my head. And I've been dying to get out of my head because I'm not trying to spoil things for people on social media. I'm trying to keep it condensed. I'm trying to keep it under control. So please keep your notification bell on, because a video will be dropping after this. It's coming. It's going to be on the rise. My name is Rorvis Paradox, aka Docs Brando. Thank you for watching another Rorvis Reviews, and I'll see you again next time. Peace.